Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer, so let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
George Clooney is one of your... How did you meet George Clooney?
We did a pilot together. We played brothers.
And you became best of friends. Mm-hmm. And he is a prankster.
Yes, he is.
And there was the one prank where he was staying with you. You had a cat.
Yep.
He was in the... You left the litter in the guest bedroom's bathroom, and he was in the guest bedroom. You left your cat litter in the bathroom.
We only had one bathroom.
Oh, all right. So you only have one bathroom. The kitty litter's in there. And every day, George is staying with you. He empties out the kitty litter.
This story has been told many times,
yes.
But I came out and I just lightly said, like I might have said, wow, the refrigerator isn't as cold as it was yesterday.
Right.
I wonder why. It's something as innocuous as that.
Right.
I said, it's funny. My cat hasn't gone to the bathroom.
Right.
In 2 days or whatever.
Right.
Okay. And he, in his wisdom, then started emptying out the cat litter box so that the cat...
Every time the cat pooped. So every time you went in there, you were like, there's no shit.
I didn't have to clean the cat litter box.
Right. But then he convinced you that your cat was dying of constipation.
That is... I'm going to be honest.
Oh, fuck. I can't believe this.
He, in his Baron Munchausen ways...
Yes.
Can make a story better, and it works better.
Right. When
he says that. But I never took the cat to the vet.
Oh,
he
right.
claims that I did, and I got X-Lax for the kitty, and I didn't. But it's great. It works.
Is the painting one true?
That is true.
So the painting one is he finds...
No. These are all true.
Right.
But
he's a good storyteller.
So the painting one, as I heard it, was he finds the most disgusting... Tells you he's taking painting classes.
He found a painting in the garbage.
That was... gets it framed.
Yes.
Tells you that...
It's probably already framed.
Yeah. No, well, in the story that I read, it wasn't framed.
Right.
So he gets it framed and tells
framed.
you he's taking painting classes.
Yes. And months before... when he tells me we stopped at, you remember Aaron Brothers on La Cienega? We stopped at Aaron Brothers to pick up paint and paintbrushes.
You're kidding me.
Yes,
this is
that
so
hilarious?
funny.
I know, isn't that's
so he signs
that's
this.
The brilliant.
Yeah,
part.
so he signs this as if he
George Clooney.
Yeah,
that's some.
And he gives it to you, and you have it up in your living room. How long?
I don't know. I can't
They
even
say 5
remember.
to 6 years.
I don't think it's that long. They let them say. I don't even remember.
And you had, and then how did
I
he?
mean, why tell a joke
Right.
if you don't get the laugh?
So, but how did you find out?
Just how much willpower do you think the man has?
Okay, so how long? How did he tell you?
I will tell you a great willpower story.
Okay.
Is that I was doing a movie in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And Woody, with this guy Woody, playing my partner in the police, we were policemen. And the night before, we decided to play golf. So I said, give me a call in the morning, and we'll go. And so the phone rings. I pick up the phone. Woody? Yeah. 9:30 in the lobby? And he goes, okay, and hangs up. All right. I go down to the lobby, 9:30.
No Woody?
No Woody. 9:45, no Woody. 10 o'clock, no Woody. At 10:05, I go, Woody, where the hell are you? Because what are you talking about? I go, are we going to play golf or what? He goes, okay. I said, meet me in the lobby at 9:30. No, okay. Years later. Maybe not years. Quite a few months.
Yeah.
Jeff Garland goes, how's Woody?
Ha 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 ha.
That's great.
Never called me back that day.
Right.
Never called me back for a little while.
Right.
Just said, I said, Woody? He said, he had 2 words. I said, Woody? He said, oh, yeah. I said, 9:30 in lobby? He said, okay. Hung up, didn't talk to me for a month, whatever. And then didn't tell me for
Did you
months.
fucking crack? You must have cracked.
I died, because I remember.
Right.
I absolutely remember. Isn't that hilarious? Doesn't make a deal of it, doesn't do it. That's willpower.
Well.
I don't think George has that willpower.
Right.
You take a good joke. You take a joke good. Well,
I'm very thick-skinned. I really am. I do believe I am.
You went to the White House Correspondents' Dinner a few years ago, and you were interviewed on the red carpet or whatever they have, the blue and red carpet, because Republicans and Democrats. And you, I saw the video, but basically that they were trying to get you to be funny, like, oh, hey, and you said that there is a disgraceful disparity. First of all,
Yes.
you said
I said it yes. Thank you for bringing this up. Go ahead, keep going.
But you said the smartest person in that room is the president, which I totally agree with you. And you said, and it should be the president. And President Obama is brilliant. And then you said, and they were trying to.
This is years ago, isn't it?
Yes,
Years.
like 4.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get you to be Richard Kind, like, hey ho, it's going to be funny. And you said, actually, there's a disgraceful disparity between the ultra rich and the American public.
No, here's how I put it. There is a disgraceful disparity between the haves
And
the truly haves, and then the ridiculous. I mean,
right.
it is outrageous.
Right. And that if one of these guys died and gave all his money to the government, you said
to a city.
Oh,
To a city.
what would happen?
It would. I
No,
mean,
you said that to the
Really?
yes.
Look, what I said those many years ago, I believe. You know who Michael Medved is?
Yes.
He, or it was I worked with him. He's a wonderful guy, although I don't like his politics. Who's the black Republican?
Oh,
What's his
yeah.
name?
I
Running
love
for
him.
president?
John Ridley.
No.
Oh.
No.
John
I want to
Ridley.
say, is it Tavis Smiley? But it's not. I don't
Yes,
know.
it is Tavis Smiley.
It might be Tavis Smiley. Was on Spin City, and I
Yes.
got to know him there, and so I said this, and he spent a goodly chunk of his broadcast talking about what I said on this thing, which ages ago, and I mean, he attacked me, and said, I know this guy. Richard Kind's a lovely guy. We had a fun time on Spin City, but he is just wrong.
and he
now-
hates the gays also.
Well, okay. I mean,
That I go there.
okay,
Okay, go.
Okay, but
Yeah.
honestly, on this issue, I was where Bernie Sanders is today.
Right.
Okay, and I brought this up, and he's attacking me. Now it is common knowledge. I don't want to say that I'm the smartest guy around, but I swear to God, I talked about this, and that really does make me so upset. In my stupidity, I'm going to bring up a sort of silly point. Do you remember the movie Life Stinks by Mel Brooks?
Yes.
Okay, a movie that's not good.
Right.
But do you remember what the name of the company was?
No, what was it?
Engulf and Devour.
Oh, yes,
Because it was
Engulf
Gulf
and-
and
right.
Gulf and Western.
Right,
So this
Engulf and
company
Devour.
that is decades.
That is way ahead of his
It's
time.
way ahead, and yet he saw that the multinationals were at that
Right.
time were really taking over. He saw it because his films were being eaten up by these
Right.
multinationals and were having an effect on what he could probably put in his
Right.
content. But they really did. So now you've got a dozen huge. I mean, all of these companies that the airlines that are coming together, the
hidden
communications.
Well, there's
Hands.
nothing. It's all. It's.
They're all.
Why do you think Donald Trump is where he is?
Absolutely.
It's
Donald
all
Trump is
marketing. He is marketing. Everyone remembers "Make America Great Again." No one remembers anything else anyone said. I mean,
Donald Trump is horrifying.
he is dangerous.
But it's
And
not.
peop-
But once again,
it's a
our
reflection.
fault.
Right.
It's our fault. It's America's fault.
Right.
Having Bill Clinton. Look, I've said this before. This is stupid, but in a way, I blame the American people for the Twin Towers coming down. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you why. Because Clinton knew about Osama bin Laden. Mm-hmm. He knew about things that might have been very important.
Right.
And 3 hours of every day were spent trying to appease the Senate, his wife, the American people, that he got a blowjob in
Right.
the office.
Right.
Those 3 hours might have been spent. Might have. They could have still come down.
Right.
They could have bypassed everything because it's so nutty. But we, in our stupid, let's worry about a blowjob,
Right.
started thinking about that. So I believe
You
that.
know, I
blame
have
Clinton.
also said, when we've had these horrible things happen in this country, and I've often said in recent years, I'd rather be talking about a blowjob than this stuff. As if.
Oh, that's sort of funny. Yes.
Right. So you're all complaining, look at what's happening.
Right.
And it's so horrible and this and that. And it's like,
Yeah.
that was the
but
news.
someone
That
got
was
a
the fucking
blowjob.
news.
That was the news.
Yeah.
As in every fucking minute, the
Right.
guy got a fucking blowjob.
Yeah, and you know something? The Arabs think every day with their
Thank
heart
God.
and soul.
Yeah.
With their heart and soul about what can I do to make the world, although I think they're wrong, a better place. I hate how they're going about
Right.
it, but they are invested in what is important to them. Joey Pantoliano did a movie, a documentary about the depression that he felt and how it is endemic in America,
Right.
that we're depressed and everything like that. And it's quite a great movie. Quite great.
Name.
I'm looking it up.
You can look it up. It's great.
Okay.
He took it to the Israeli Film Festival. It was not well received. Audience was a little bored. The questions, I asked Joe, I asked his wife, and he said, no, it didn't go over like it does here or anything. And I thought, why? Now, why do you think? Because the
Well, I think it's because Israel every day has
Every
to
day.
deal with this shit. Every day, every minute of every
but
day.
not depression. They have to deal
Deal
about,
with
is today
survival.
the day I'm going to
Right.
die?
Survival.
Not, oh my God, how awful do I
Right.
feel today that I just
Sure.
can't get out
Right.
of bed. They think about, this could be the
last
day
time I see my child.
of my right. I see my child, that I'm on the planet.
Right.
And therefore, fuck depression.
Right.
Get over it.
Right.
Okay? And so therefore I think that do I say that our problems are petty? And they're put in, it's a rich man's problem. It's no, we're worthy of examining our depression. But, oh my gosh, there are big, big problems in the world. Now, what I said about being the most important problem, this disparity between the ultra
Right.
rich and the really, really, oh my God, rich,
Right.
and then the rich, and then the middle class, and then the poor people. But the amount of money, I mean, when you're talking
The 62 people have
more
more
money?
money than every
The whole world?
than entire
about,
yes.
it's astounding.
Yeah.
It's astounding. That to me is an
Well,
unbelievable
and
thing.
you talk about the blowjob, and now we're talking about Scalia dies, and the first thing that fucking
The rubber
asshole
com-
says, the first thing,
Yeah,
you know what? We're not. The body's still warm. We're not going to anyone he nominates. We're not even going to.
Well,
Fuck you.
I agree with that. However, it's a game changer for the country.
But it's also petty. It's petty the way they're dealing with it.
No tact involved.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. But
It is a game changer.
But it's a game changer because that decision will affect America for a long
and
time.
he is the president, though.
But the thing is, he's got 25% of his term left.
Right.
Right.
Go and do what your responsibility is.
Absolutely. And now these people are saying we're not even going to. We're not
We're not
even
even
going
going to pay attention. Right.
Right.
Okay, if it were 50%, if this were 2 years in, would they pay attention? But I that horrifies me, and I think one of the powers that and legacies that this man would like to leave is the Supreme Court.
Right.
They're not letting him. I do think it's bad. However, getting back to what I said about the disparity, this seems to be Bernie Sanders' biggest talking point.
Right.
And I believe he's right. And I believe it is the biggest problem, other than how we handled the world.
Right.
Right. That's that film
But
is called
I
No Kidding.
do not want, and it sounds like I should want Bernie Sanders.
No, I'm exactly the way you
I
are.
love Bernie
I
Sanders.
do too.
I love
But
everything.
I don't.
Everything
you
he's
can
bringing
you
up.
imagine him going over to deal with Iraq or Jordan?
Well,
Like he's a Jew. No one mentions he's a Jew.
well, that's for sure.
Right.
I know. I don't know how that.
It's going to come out. Of course, if he wins the nomination, then they'll be all over. How can you're a Jew? How are you going to be with Israel?
You might be right. They're saving that up for a later time. It's ammunition. The thing is, I adore Hillary Clinton.
Yes.
I also think that a president is not on the up and up.
Right.
I don't believe they are.
I don't
if you
either.
go back to
No.
Roosevelt,
Yeah.
they all had affairs.
I mean,
Oh,
Clinton-
please!
Clinton
Martin
got
Luther
caught.
King
I
had
just
an
did
affair.
Clinton the musical, and they had portraits of every president and who their affair was with.
Right. They're
But-
not on the up and up. I believe Hillary may even have some skeletons in the closet.
But it's a job. You don't have to be best friends with her.
No.
Well,
It is. But
that's
she
for
is
sure.
prepared. She is the most prepared.
I believe, as a leader. You know what? I gather we haven't cursed much on this show.
Oh, you can fucking say whatever the fuck.
I believe Hillary Clinton is a cunt.
Right.
But she's my cunt. I
Right.
believe that she's strong, probably stronger than any guy who's been in office in 20 years.
And more prepared than anyone who's run for president in 100
Secretary of
years.
State, and she has the advisor of the man who sleeps
and
she
was first lady, and she was a senator.
and a senator, and she
Fought
is-
for equal rights from day one when she was in college.
and is so smart,
Right.
And is a cunt, and I don't believe she'll put up with anything. And maybe she has Wall Street in her pocket, unlike Bernie Sanders. But she can do something with that power.
She knows those people.
Yeah.
He's coming from this.
And I love him.
I love him too. I love him. I
really
love
do.
Elizabeth Warren. I love them. But it's a job. It's not. It is a fucking important job.
Right. What I do love about Bernie Sanders is all of these points are being brought up.
Right.
What I
Yeah.
don't like is that there's a chance he may get the nomination.
it would be
and-
cool if they could be in office together.
And
I know.
evidently,
I'm-
it would be cool because they're two people. One I admire. I both admire them, and for
Right.
such different reasons.
yeah,
Right,
they're like the
exactly.
Malcolm X and JFK, like
Right.
of politics.
But the thing that you're saying about the way he talks or anything like that.
No, I'm saying that
Yes, if
not
he goes
about
over
me. I'm saying that's how other people
yes,
are going to
and
perceive
that
him.
He's a Jew,
And they don't mention it that he's a Jew. But
Right.
all of them, all those GOP, God, Scripture, shut the fuck up. I don't
Yep.
care what religion you are.
Yep.
This country should be run by, your knowledge of history and facts and policy and
but
law.
it was built on Christianity.
Fuck you.
It was
it
built
actually
on
wasn't.
slaves.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It was built on the opposite of
Right.
Christianity. It's built
Paganism.
on Protestantism.
Right.
Which developed from paganism.
All right. You with the
Oh my
shit.
God! Oh
I
my
go-
God!
Oh, my dad's a minister. I have it
Oh,
in
yeah.
me.
Is
I'm
that true?
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Oh,
He
my
must have had a
God.
field day with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
he still is.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, though.
He's a great guy. Yeah. He's
yeah.
exactly like her. Like they're the same person.
You
It's
and
weird.
then at that same interview, and they said, okay, well, if you had that billion whatever dollars, what
Yeah, I
would you
remember
do?
seeing that,
And
yeah.
you
What did I say?
said, education, which
That I believe. That I truly
and you
believe.
said
Yeah,
climate change.
I did, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was
surprised.
all on point.
I'm surprised
And
at that.
why? At the climate change?
Because I don't know what money can do for climate change.
Did you read yesterday? They have the
I don't know. I'm not that
coastal
well-educated.
coastal cities
Yeah.
will not be here in 2100.
Oh no! I believe, but I don't think money can buy the solution. to
No,
that.
no, absolutely not.
I believe that countries have to get together,
Right.
and realize, it's like having oceanfront property right now,
Right.
And you go, you know what? We better gird ourselves
Right.
for
They just I have a house in Provincetown. They've lifted all these houses.
God.
But I also think we're in this position not only because of the blowjob, but we get George W. Bush, idiot, liar, and puts no money. They don't care about education. And look who's voting now: dumb people who are
That's true.
uneducated.
That's very true.
Isn't that the point?
That's who's voting for Trump. People who, and they're probably not dumb, but they're not educated.
Right.
Well, I said something that I think tries to be funny or pithy, and somebody said, you can't say that anymore, but I happen to love this country. I
Yes.
really love it. It's the people I don't like.
Right.
But
when I get off a plane, even from Canada, and I get there and I'm like, seeing our flag, just being, when I go to another country and I come back
Oh,
here,
God, yeah.
it is,
It
you're so thankful. My mother was patriotic. My father was patriotic. You know, I don't think people love the country like they should. And I do think the people outside should shut the fuck up, if you could tell them.
Sure, I'll tell them again.
But
I do. I love that we do have this country, and I
Right.
love what the country stands for.
Right, of course.
It really is pretty astounding. And unfortunately, things are changing. I mean, that we
Right.
have to worry.
like, it's,
I
and if I
cannot
didn't
believe
have kids, I wouldn't be as
I
worried.
can't believe that a McDonald's in a mall has not been blown up yet. I just can't believe
Right.
it. I can't believe, but by somebody from on the outside.
Right. And also, I mean, I remember after 9/11, someone said, you know, if you really want to scare America, blow up a movie theater and then people never go out again. But now we have people in our country
Shooting
who
up
shouldn't
movie
have
theaters.
guns going in. And I mean, you sit here, how dare you say you love your pro quote unquote life, but any mental case can have a fucking gun.
And yet they have guns, in my opinion, for the wrong reasons.
Right.
I'm very scared of terrorism.
Right. Me too.
I really am. I'm scared of. I'm reading a book now I have a feeling this guy is a very right-wing author, but it's a novel called I Am Pilgrim. Did you read it?
No.
Oh,
If you like espionage, it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Heard of
It's
that.
it's really my kind of book. And I'm now getting into the parts where this author is writing like he's very right-wing.
Right.
But he said, if somebody says, I want you dead and I want to kill you, beware.
They mean it.
Right.
Beware.
Well, just like we were talking about Israel.
Well, Jews.
They say
The Jews during World War II.
right.
If the Germans said, I want you dead, and they really mean it, they're going to do something about
Right.
it. And the people overseas in the terrorist factions,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, I'm not talking about Muslims, I'm talking about the terrorist
Right.
factions, say,
The few
we
countries, right?
want you dead. They want us dead.
Right.
There's no other word. They want us off the face of the earth.
Right.
They want Israel off
all
the
of them,
face
and that's
of
what
the earth.
people don't understand. Oh, and you know, Israel did this, and Israel is attacked daily. Daily,
Yeah.
it is a democracy. They have a gay pride parade.
No
they
one's-
contribute to the world at large. They have so many Nobel prizes.
How many
Medicine
times have you been to Israel?
once,
How long ago?
a few years.
Yeah, it's not.
amazing.
It's,
Like
it's
3 years
astoundingly
ago.
not a dangerous place.
Right.
That's one thing. And yet, up in the hinterlands, they are attacked. I was in Israel this past summer, and we were on top of a mountain. We took this tour of a kibbutz, and then it's up on top of a mountain, and we're looking over here, and this was where this battle was, and this, and off in the distance, way far away, but you could see it. You could absolutely know it's a city.
Right.
It was a city. And here's what we heard. It was Syria.
Oh, fuck.
The thing's going off in the. It's just-
yeah.
This is 2:00 in the afternoon. That doesn't happen in Israel. That happens in Syria.
On the border.
Right.
But it's far away. But you got to understand, it's so close.
Oh, God.
Right.
yeah.
Because it's close to Israel, but it's not in Israel.
Right.
But you hear what's
Right.
going on in Syria, and you go, oh, they are used to gunfire and bombs and things
Right.
like that. That is their daily life.
Right.
It's not our daily life.
Right.
Right.
And yet, people carry guns because they're scared the government's going to try and take
Right.
their land. they take it. They carry guns because this is true. Is because there are gun battles in our inner cities. Why else do people carry guns?
For protection, for
protection,
sport.
Hunting.
But that
to
I'll
make their
understand.
dick
When you have
seem bigger.
800, who needs a magazine that
Right.
goes in?
If you're
and
if you're
if
hunting,
if the guy at Newtown had to reload, how many
Yeah.
more people would be here? I mean,
Yeah, there are
it's-
a few gun enthusiasts who just have them to have them.
right.
I feel.
I mean,
Up
there
on the
are
wall.
responsible gun owners. There
Sure.
are
My dad
plenty
is
of them.
One.
of course they are.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of them.
And,
But
and
my son can't buy me Sudafed
Right.
at CVS till he's 16.
But he could get
But
an
he
illegal
could,
gun
He
easier.
could get an illegal gun, or he could get a gun. I mean, I'm sure he could get Sudafed from someone too.
Sure,
but
but no street,
yeah, but it's the reasons.
no one's selling Sudafed on the corner.
right.
Yeah, it's.
This has turned a depressing.
Kill
Yes,
me
I thought
now.
this would be much funnier.
Are you mad at me?
I'm never mad.
Oh, all right.
Never mad.
Because
I love talking about this stuff. It's just, do your listeners?
Yes,
They
they
do.
love
like
it.
to
They
listen?
love
They
it.
do.
Oh my God, we've had such intense conversations
Really?
with people.
Who's been great at the intense conversation?
Artie Lang.
Arling was great.
I adore.
Yes.
adore that man. I've met him once. There are a few people in the world who scare me, intimidate me. Oh God, would he like what I said?
Right.
Artie Lang is one of them.
Really?
Yes.
He's such a teddy bear.
I hear, and I'm very angry at him because if he goes the way of Amy Winehouse,
I know. I get annoyed too.
We'll all kill him.
I'm so upset that,
Yeah.
that he walks that tightrope. I'm very upset.
Yes, Dick Cavett. We had intense conversation
I'll
about
bet.
depression.
Oh, really?
Yes, Felicia Michaels, who's a comic, went away, came back. Hers is unbelievable.
It's the Lord of the Rings of our episodes.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Really?
yeah.
Why do you say Lord of the Rings? What does that mean?
It's just an epic. It was
It's
a
an-
two-parter.
her
and I
life
feel like
is-
she didn't even get started.
Yeah, I have no epic life to me at all. I really have followed sort of a very narrow trail.
Look at you, fucking actor. He's comparing himself now to Felicia Michaels.
No,
in her
this
But I
is-
don't know
we're talking
Felicia Michaels.
hell.
Special.
We're talking trailer
Right.
park,
But the
mother
thing is-
stroke.
Oh
horrible.
Christ! Yeah, but now here's the thing: is when my parents divorced,
How old were you?
I had just graduated from college,
Right.
and they
And that wasn't big then.
oh no, you're right.
yeah,
you're right.
that's-
I
God.
did a I
No one
did a
talked
play
about it.
recently, a musical workshop in Houston, and we talked about that divorce
Right.
was not that. So anyway, so my parents divorced, and I figure this is a great time to see a therapist. I've always wanted to see a
Right.
therapist because I want to be an actor and I want to be weird. And I don't have problems. I'd like to see somebody and get some problems.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one episode of it with a fifth drink, and did I open a Pandora's
Right.
box?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I realized just how fucking crazy I am. But my experiences in life are very middle class, middle of the road, uneventful.
That usually
I've
means-
known a lot of people.
Was one of your parents cheating?
Actually, he was,
Mm-hmm.
but so it's the father who did not
Well,
give the store
yeah.
to that cocksucker of
Right.
but he was
Bill
unhappy.
Clinton of a-
he was unhappy.
How long had he been cheating?
I don't think long,
Oh.
but my mom could drive people, within the
Fatty.
family. They were not meant for each other,
Right.
And yet
That happened a lot.
Yeah,
at
but
that
my
time.
perception of the two of them, it was Alice and Sam, and
Right.
that might as well have been Anthony and Cleopatra,
Right.
Laurel and Hardy. The names just went together.
Right.
Alice and Sam. Of
course.
So I thought they were very happy. In
Harold
fact, in
and
their
Ruth.
25th, my dad turned 50 in May. His 25th anniversary was in July. His mother died that following December. And on New Year's Eve, he told my mother he was leaving her. So he was waiting for his mother to die.
Right.
Their 25th anniversary is 50 years old. I mean, it's almost laughable.
Were you mad at him?
Oh,
Furious.
I've talked about that. I was scared. I was furious. I was furious for years. And I'm not. I like I talked earlier. I never shared emotions. I never talked to my father. I was furious, and I hated him.
Lyft is one of the best things that you ever brought into my life. Can I just say?
Because Uber, like they do that surge pricing. So Lyft is like, if no one knows, it's like this. It's a car service like Uber, but they don't surge. So like the other night, right? I was at the Cellar downtown, and it was, that's like a 30-something. It's like 20, $18 to $20, which is what I make. Anyway, but if it's raining,
If the Pope's in town.
I mean, did you know that they did this other company that runs with Uber? There was a terrorist attack in Australia.
I heard about this.
Because I told you. There was a terrorist attack in Australia.
That's how I get my news.
Yeah. And people were trying to get out of the area, and Uber did a surge.
That's
on a
unbelievable.
terrorist attack.
Well, I mean, Lyft started out as a carpool service, which is really cool.
Right.
Again, I love these companies. These,
you
businesses
can. You
that
know what's
start for
great
people.
is that you can do a share ride.
And they even have this option that it's like, oh, you've got, if you want to wait 10 minutes, you can
Right.
get an even bigger discount. So
Right.
not only do you share a carpool ride on Lyft Line, but then you can choose an even cheaper
Right.
option if you have the time. I've met some cool people on those Lyft Line rides. I've met some really cool Lyft drivers.
I know. The
actually.
drivers are really nice.
And, I mean, God knows, it's gotten us to places just on time.
You actually missed an episode.
Right.
Okay.
But had I been able to walk to the street, I'd have gotten in a lift.
That's great.
Wow.
And then I realized when he was unhappy, and that actually has informed my life.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I bet
different
theater
times.
Was
helped
your
you a lot.
mother okay afterwards,
No.
or?
Damn.
She was not okay. But then married a man who she should have married to, and was
So happy.
phenomenally in love with this man. And my joke about this guy is he used to get nosebleeds going up on the pedestal to visit my mother. He just loved her. He put her.
How
on such
long
a
were
high
they
pedestal.
married?
Oh, about 27 years.
Oh, that's good.
Oh no, it is great, and they loved each other. But he drove me up the wall.
Right, of course.
I mean, he not just because he was my stepfather, but he was a boring man. He was an unexciting man.
Right.
He's a very nice, good, moral. But oh my God, when I was with
Snore.
him, I just wanted to shoot me or him.
Right.
Just so I didn't have
And
to be
did your
around him.
father stay with the woman he was cheating with?
No, and married a woman who he adored.
Right.
And sadly died too young because he adored her. And she was as different from my mother as...
Did you like her?
I did. I did like her. She drove me up the wall, but in different ways.
Right.
But I liked her very, very much. She was... she had more spiritual
Right.
energy. You know? She
Did they
was-
marry Jews?
My mother did. My father did not.
Mm.
know. It
Interesting.
was very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yes. Yep.
What?
I just wanted to touch back in case any of our audience was interested. You mentioned a movie earlier on about mental illness.
Depression.
Documentary
Yeah,
by
Joe's
Joe.
movie.
Yeah, it's called No Kidding, Me Too, mental illness documentary. So if anyone wanted to check that out, just wanted to
Oh,
put
it's
it
very
out there.
good.
No kidding, me too.
But as I say, it's self consumed. It's
Right. I get like that, and then I have to watch
Well, we
everything.
all do
Yeah.
because we live in America.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see a therapist?
Absolutely, since I'm
Yeah.
18 years old.
Right. How many? I wonder how many Israelis, or certainly how many Iraqis see therapists.
Oh, no. There's no
None.
introspection.
My wife is Iraqi.
Right. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. And does she see a therapist?
She could
now?
be a therapist.
She can't be a therapist. She has mother issues. Go.
Yeah.
They all have that.
She's from
Therapist.
Israel. She's an Israeli.
You are?
no,
not
the
me.
wife.
Not me. Yeah, the
I
wife.
thought you said she's Iraqi.
She's
she
Iraq-
is, but she was born in Israel.
Oh, okay. But the thing
Iraqi
is,
Jew.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
No therapy in that house.
They're all over, Judith. They're all over. All right, go ahead.
Ruth?
Yes, they're all over. There's black Jews.
Ruth, good to see you again.
Thank
There
you.
are no Jews in this country. There are only
There's-
Jews on the coast.
Right.
Everybody who has Amazon Prime.
There's Jews in Chicago
There are the
I'm
Southern
kidding.
Jews
and
remember?
Miami.
It is very funny when you
Right.
hear, oh, of course they have synagogues in
Right.
New Orleans or something like that.
Right.
You know, now my daughter was bat mitzvahed in Israel this past summer.
Right.
Where do you think we're going to have my twins bar and bat mitzvahed? My
At-
daughter, we did it at Masada. Where do you think we're
Okay.
going to do the twins?
The Dead Sea.
The Jerusalem.
Big party
Is it
on the
in this
beach.
country?
Nope.
It's in another country.
Yep,
Not necessarily Israel.
that is correct. But both countries start with vowels. Either in Africa or Ireland.
Oh wow!
And then people go, well,
They had a Jewish. The mayor of Dublin was Jewish.
don't you know what Yogi Berra said
What?
when he found out that the mayor of Dublin was Jewish?
What?
Only in America. That hilarious.
Wow, Africa or Ireland?
Yeah.
Cool.
Are they excited about that?
The African Ireland, they are the bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah. They are
But
not
wait,
Jewish.
what about? So no big party. Lucky you.
Oh no!
I
That's
hate that.
That is the reason why we're
Right.
doing it there. Yes, I will not. That's why I did it in Israel
Right.
for Sky.
It's ridiculous.
Here are the two countries no one will
It
go
is
to.
so ridiculous.
Maybe in Jersey, okay, but not in New York.
Right.
There's no keeping up with the Joneses.
It's awful.
Yeah,
And I do recall you've now switched synagogues.
I did.
But you were at my synagogue and were called up to the Torah because it was your first high holiday service there, and you were the only one not wearing a yarmulke.
Yes, I was raised not wearing a yarmulke. I don't wear yarmulkes.
Damn.
And now you're at a place you don't have to wear a yarmulke.
But where was I called up to the
B'nai
Torah?
Jeshurun.
I know, but why? Why was I called
Remember,
up there?
they said we're going to have an aliyah. Oh, it could have been
a bat
anyone who's
mitzvah?
been to Israel in they always
Oh
have.
yes,
In the past year, or any new members who was the first
Right,
time.
anyone
It's
else.
like AA.
I don't wear a tallis.
And I
or a
saw
yarmulke.
you, and I go, you can't put a yarmulke on?
I
You're
don't
like,
it.
no, I can't.
I can't. That's how I was raised. I was raised without yarmulkes.
Is that a
The reason why is because you're wearing your Judaism on your sleeve or
Right.
on your head. That's what it is. If you see a Jew walking down the street with a yarmulke, or if a person walking down the street, what do you say?
Jew.
is it almost boastful type thing, or is that more Christian?
I don't know. They just told the people in France, the head rabbi said, do not wear a yarmulke because you're going to get
Oh wow!
beaten
that's-
up.
I believe that's true.
right. And so a lot of them were like, I can't believe we cannot, but they can't. They said, don't.
Yeah, don't do it because it will bring harm upon you.
Or
And-
why
but
don't
it's not
you
fair.
think you're healthy?
all
What?
the
It's not fair.
allies? All
Wait,
the allies should
did-
start wearing yarmulkes.
on.
Everyone should wear a motherfucking yarmulke.
Did they advise not to, or did
Yes.
they say it's?
Advise.
They didn't order them not to.
No, I'm just saying that they have to say that now. That they have to say in a Jewish neighborhood, don't wear your yarmulke.
fucked up?
Yeah,
It's sad.
Fucked
it
up.
is. Of course, it's.
They
sad.
hate us. They all hate us.
all hate us.
That's my mother.
I don't-
They all of them. 'Twas ever thus, Judith. 'Twas ever thus. All right. Before we, I
right.
could talk to you forever.
I'm telling
I
you,
know.
a lunch, a dinner, a cup
Okay,
of coffee.
I'm in.
Why I don't understand why you've never called. Why you would
Because
never,
you're
because you're
very
that busy.
famous.
Do you
Because you're that busy?
call her?
No.
No.
Oh
she's-
well, then.
she is very famous.
Now you are. Now, question.
You're both
ahead.
famous.
We ask
guys.
everyone this. What pisses you off the most?
Right now, and I knew you were going to ask this, but this is really, really, really what pisses me off. And you played with your kids, would you rather, right?
Yes.
Okay. Would you rather live a full life to 85 or so, or have the internet? What would you rather?
or have the
Have the internet. Have all of the glories.
85 without a doubt.
Yeah, and I
85
believe,
without a doubt.
believe that the internet may cause peril to our lives because we text while we drive.
No, it's the worst.
And if we don't text, somebody else is texting. and they can kill you just as much as you not. We text while we walk. In New York, you can get hit by a car.
What about
or
walking
bump into
down the subway stairs? Move it, you fuck.
That doesn't.
People
get
don't even
into it.
look up.
That doesn't get. That doesn't. That's
Right.
That's down. If we were making what is that? The when you do the Roman numeral
Right.
and then the 1 and then the A and then that is such a subset
Right.
of my anger. The internet has made terrorism easier.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, we are truly.
We have no privacy. You can't have another life.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
the Middle East used to be
Far
far
away.
away. Now it's not so
Right.
far away. I believe that the internet is, but the glories are magnificent, but the horror of it, I actually think outweighs the glories.
Well, I've lived most of my life without the internet and without
How?
a cell phone.
How?
Well, I was born in 1962.
Oh, you've lived most of your life,
right.
yes.
And
And we've been okay. We've done okay.
it was, I mean, I remember sitting in my house in LA, bags are packed to go to a gig, and they're like, don't leave. We're hearing from the network in 2 seconds. We don't know if you're going on this gig or staying here. And you waited. You waited. When you did things, you were present. You were not looking through a camera at
Right.
your kid's thing. You were watching it. You had memories. You'd drop off your film. A week later, you'd pick it up.
Yep.
You'd read. I mean, I was on the road. The only thing being on the road without internet or phone was very hard for me. But I did it. But
We all did
life
it.
was,
Yeah.
there's no anticipation anymore. There's no like, just wait a week.
There's so many levels of the damage
Right.
that the internet has done, and there are so many levels of how the internet has made the world a better place.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just don't know. But when I think of the horrors of the internet,
Right.
and it's not so long ago that we got it, and it's so many leaps and bounds so quickly that it's like fame to a young kid. We don't.
Well, there's people have a
we can't
platform
absorb
who
it.
don't deserve a platform as well.
Well, that's part
and
of
the if there was
It
no
is such a
internet, there'd be
double-edged
no
sword.
Kardashians. People looking at people's asses and tits, and I mean, they wouldn't.
I'm really talking about
I know.
the really, really big things.
No, I know,
Like,
I know.
Now, the New York Times Magazine section, that judge guy, the Judge Joe, whatever it is,
Yeah.
said, if you take away the child's phone, but he said there are other distractions that children will get so that they can not like their parents and not be
Right.
with them. But it's awful. It is awful. Now, have you ever seen a kid watch TV?
Oh God, yeah.
And you can walk back and front with a
Zoned
marching
in.
band, and they don't see the marching band that's walking
Right.
between them and the TV.
Right.
No.
So there have been distractions.
Well, I also
Really good
Henry
movie
was
called
ri-
Avalon. that-
Henry was writing a paper about whether video games,
Help her-
violent video games,
Oh.
affect
of course they
And
do.
I said, Henry, do you honestly, these people who are mentally ill, these kids who've watched these video games where they kill everyone, they leave, they go have dinner, they come back and everyone's alive again. You think that those shooting sprees, that sort of, this is just temporary kind of like,
It
doesn't-
desensitizes you.
It does. They have become immune to it. My kids saw the end of Poltergeist and laughed.
Men
They
Really?
found nothing.
Men admit
scary.
that porno has desensitized them to regular sex. How do you think
Well,
that these
duh.
shooting
I mean,
games with
I
these
don't
graphics
understand.
haven't desensitized?
you can't even just have an orgasm now. Now you have to be asphyxiated and have an orgasm.
Right.
That's not even good enough.
that's been around.
Now they're choking each other and
That's been the
been around
crazy
for a
thing
while.
is that's been around. And I'll tell you something: cursing and gunplay, as was shown in Deadwood, you got to understand there were guns. They were
More
they
the
were
butt
plentiful.
sex and the blowjobs.
All right,
I think
I-
that
wait
women
a
are
minute.
like, hey, wait a
Okay.
minute, we're not all into this.
right. I don't know.
Bitches.
I always say
Norm Macdonald had the funniest line. I was listening to his podcast. He goes, "The word what is butt fucking and making love have never been in the same
Right.
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And that made me laugh. You've always you could say we made love as another word for
Right.
fucking, but you never hear making love
Right.
as another word
For butt fucking.
For butt fucking.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a
Makes me-
different, little bit of a
That
different.
makes
We
me
made
laugh.
love in the ass.
Yeah, right.
Still a virgin.
We also ask everyone.
Also, I do hate people who walk slow, and yet
I can't. Fucking. You have no idea. And then I hate people who are on. You're at the airport, and there's the people mover, and they're standing. They don't move. They don't
Thank
walk
you.
on the people. It's like,
Thank
what?
you.
How much time do you have in your life to stand on a fucking?
hold on.
No.
I do have It's not the people who stand; it's the people who stand in the middle or
Right.
on the
On
left
the
side.
left.
On the
Right.
motherfucking
Right.
left.
Yes.
Right.
There is a lot of
Entitlement.
of entitlement, but there's also of
Anger?
I know
Not having
thinking
any-
thinking about the person who's around you.
Right.
I don't like those people, and yet when I see it in myself, I'm disgusted.
Right.
Sure.
But the people who walk down the street slowly in the middle of the street, I want to yell at them.
I know.
But Jeff Garland had a very interesting thing. He for some reason had to go to an anger management thing.
Yes, I heard.
It was in the paper and
Right.
stuff like that. So I don't think I think he'll talk about it out loud. And he has talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
But he found out things about himself. Yes, you can think that way, but you cannot act upon it.
Mm-hmm.
But I get angry at those people, and I think that I'm better than them, which is all of a sudden but I'm not. I catch myself, and I'm not better than them. That is how they choose to.
See,
but
I
still
come
get
from
angry.
this place of like, you're disrupting my life. And you don't know it, and you have no idea. So mine is all about, why did this happen at this time that this person is walking in front of me?
and
Really,
that's- you are eligible for anger management.
Susie Essman just said the
Just
same
said
thing.
the same
Yeah,
thing.
That's
Yes.
her biggest
About
pet
what?
peeve.
about not
People not being aware, yeah.
of other people.
That's I know what the word is.
Selfish?
Courtesy.
Yes,
There's
courtesy,
Courtesy.
I
respect.
believe that courtesy has gone
There's no respect.
downhill.
There's no respect for the office of the presidency. Obviously, if
That is as disgusting a
Sting?
thing.
No respect.
And I believe that, and I am not for this. I don't believe in all of the, and there's a lot of stuff going on now.
Right.
And on the train that I came down on today, oh my God, there was a black man racially ranting. But in any case, what I was going to say is the office of the president has been lowered because people who don't like the president are racist.
right,
And
absolutely,
I really believe that.
I believe it too, because when they screamed "You lie" to him at his first State of the Union address, and yet George Bush was there for 8 years lying his fucking head off. And this whole, were you really born here?
George Bush gave me
that
bile.
was-
Oh, I couldn't.
And
Yeah.
you know who so articulated my anger was the New Yorker. David Remnick in the New
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yorker was so dead on with his words. He was so much better than I just had bile.
Right.
However, I believe that George Bush was a puppet of Cheney. I
Oh,
believe
please.
And of
I really
Saudi
do believe
Arabia.
And of Rove,
Yeah,
and
I-
of
I'm Rove.
He's
but
just a mouthpiece.
And Wolfowitz,
Cheney, I really believe had evil. I don't
I think
believe
he is.
I don't believe that George Bush had evil. I think he thought incorrectly, but
He's
Right.
not smart
But
enough.
he's also.
But
it's
I
like,
think
why
that-
is Dick Cheney alive?
right.
Why is he alive?
He'll
And
be-
yet,
he'll
so
be
many,
dead soon enough.
so many people can't get heart
I
transplant.
actually wish that Dick Cheney would live longer and
Yeah.
didn't have these heart problems. I want him to see the horrors.
right of
that-
his
that-
ways.
Because I do believe in much the way that I talk about a Pandora's
Mm-hmm.
box, us going in there. Oh my
I bet
God.
who does that? Who
was
does that?
going into
And says this is the
Afghanistan
way
and
you're supposed to
Iraq.
live.
Oh, and taking down Hussein.
I
which-
know.
Which there is evil in Hussein. I can't
I
go
know.
on. I'm not
All right, okay,
educated
we won't.
enough.
Yeah,
Now-
but I'm not
understand.
educated enough. I
That's
don't
why I'm
know-
not saying
I
anything,
can't back
but-
up my feelings
Okay.
with
Right. I'm
with
like
the
that too
logic.
with the
So,
emotions.
yeah.
We also ask everyone
ahead.
if they take any antidepressants.
I do not. I do not. I do not. I worry when I take a leave. I do everything I can not to take medicines. I probably have ADD.
I do, yeah.
I probably do. You know what? Live with me.
Right.
I have to live with me.
Right.
Or what am I going to do?
Right.
I'm not going to take anything that will. I don't need it. I suck it up.
Right.
I don't believe we suck it up in this country
Absolutely, we don't.
enough. I don't believe we do. Are you on antidepressants?
Oh, so many. I had a very bad clinical depression, and then I went on. And so now I'm afraid to ever go back to that, but I'm going to start weaning off. I meditate and I work out and I do
I
it.
hear meditation
Is
great.
amazing.
There's also something called binaural beats, which I'm gonna turn you on to, which really aids in meditation. It's playing a different tone in your ear of a different
I have a thing called
volume.
Muse, which helps, which are headphones like that. But I just have not thought about going to the class for the weekend, spending the $2,500 and going to learn TM.
All you need to do is listen to our Rosie O'Donnell
No,
episode.
I have so many.
She breaks it down.
What do you mean a Rosie O'Donnell?
We did an episode with Rosie, but because I meditate, but I learned from Jack Kornfeld, and
I know Jack Kornfeld. How do I know him?
he's a
Chicken soup for the soul.
Oh, no, I don't know.
and
You mean him
Andrew
personally?
Weil and John Kabat-Zinn, and they put out this large CD set, and it literally teaches you how to meditate. And I just did it. I just did it every day,
You've got some good tapes. Yeah.
and it really
It really does
helped
work.
me, and it so works.
And you can pick the amount of time, right? that
right,
You want
but
to
they
meditate?
teach you, and they all the different kinds, and what and not to judge yourself while you're doing it. And it's real. It really was.
I have a feeling it does work. Funny story is there's a place called Fairfield, Iowa. Mm-hmm. Okay, Fairfield, Iowa is the headquarters for the Transcendental Meditation Movement Society. Okay, this is a town. Transcendental Meditation tried to buy a headquarters. They wanted to. They were looking at Vietnam. They were looking at Hawaii. They settled in Fairfield, Iowa. Do you know why? Because Parsons University was up for sale, okay? Or Parsons College, I think it's
Right.
Parsons University, in Fairfield, Iowa. How much do you think a university cost?
Well, I would assume millions.
Yeah.
Millions. Right.
With the millions. You got all the books.
I can't even
Yeah.
begin to.
They bought it for $700,000.
No.
And literally, they say one day there was a university, the second day, and the next day, everybody just left. There was nobody left. So TM took it over. That's where their headquarters are. They have a private airstrip, people coming from all over, from Russia. David Lynch goes there. Richard Beamer has moved there. Howard Kissel, remember Howard
Yes.
Kissel? I believe either he or his brother or somebody like that. Chip Zion, you know Chip?
Oh, yeah.
Chip Zion's cousin lives there. It is an elevated community. 50% of it is. The other 50% have one tooth in their mouth.
Right.
They are Hicks. They're farmers. They're Hicks in Fairfield, Iowa. And they built a beautiful convention center. And there's a theater there named after Stephen Sondheim. It's the first
Wow.
theater ever named. So half the community is that. And I went and did a play at the Stephen Sondheim Theater. And I was going to take TM. And then they said it's $2,500 for the. I go, I'm not doing that. I really should take the time and go do the class. It's what I want to do. That's the way for me to do
Right.
it.
Yeah,
Not
you
listening to the tapes. I'm worried I won't do it. Go to the class, pay the money, and go do it.
I think that'd be a really cool experience.
I kind of want
I
to
think
do
so
that
too. I don't
I
need
don't have the money.
I'll do it here in town. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know who has the money anymore.
Wow. I hope that Transcendental School has a trickle down effect to the rest of the people there.
All right.
I love you, boss.
Oh
Have
God.
we talked enough?
I could go
Never.
on and on and on.
I actually could. This is a conversation.
Now
This is an
wait.
interview.
Do you have any tattoos? I'm going to say no.
No.
All right. I'm done with that question. I'm not asking that.
All
anymore.
right. Okay. Fuck it then.
I mean, I just started that because I'm fascinated by the fact that people will their entire arm or their entire leg.
Oh,
I
that
have
one I
5
can't
tattoos.
believe.
the
That
sleeves.
one I can't believe.
The sleeves.
I
the neck. The neck, all the way on the neck.
do understand a ankle or the back.
Right,
of the,
if you
the back
want to
of the
do a
butt,
like a
you know,
little,
a butterfly, whatever.
Yeah.
oh, a
I
butterfly,
can't the
that's
whole
fine.
neck.
What I laugh at is the person it's like the actress who changes her name and adopts, like Farrah Fawcett Majors, and they show me how many marriages go on, but I'm going to show my love to this person.
Right.
Well, get ready for a scar because you're going to have it removed.
What would you do if one of your kids said, "I'm getting a tattoo"?
I would not judge them. I would just want it in a very inconspicuous
Right.
place. I don't, and I certainly, it would upset me to no end if the whole arm.
Oh, I can't. Sleeve. Yeah,
I
can't.
but let me put it this way. Don't give me that question.
All right.
Because my kids are too young to
Yeah.
even think about that.
Yeah, you don't need to.
I mean, I really do. My kids are really great, and I joke about it, but when will the sword fall?
Oh,
When
it's
is it
coming.
I know, it's coming.
Not
It's coming
necessarily.
really
And
soon.
my
Not
kids-
necessarily.
Of course, not necessarily. 'cause
My
it didn't
dad
come
was
with me.
waiting for the sword to fall my whole life, and it was
Okay.
awful.
All right.
It was awful for me because it never
but
fell.
my kids we teach them to be very headstrong and to have their own opinions.
Sure.
I acted nothing
Right, but
like
you
my
have
kids
to
do.
realize that they do go through the hormonal shit. And they start
Well, of
acting
course.
cunty and bitchy
No,
and
it's, no.
nasty.
I'm
and-
saying, oh my God.
If you
I'm
let
talking
'em-
about will they turn into Patty Hearst?
No.
Oh, God,
No, of course
No.
not. That's what I'm talking about. The sword falling. Of course. Oh, my kids, I love it that they are on their own and that they think
Right.
and that they, my son is very funny, but I'll say, come on, Max, let's go walk the dog. My son will say, no, thank you.
That's great.
Let's wash the dishes, Max.
Sky is the funniest. I'll say, you've got to do. Shh, shh. No, you got to.
My wife does that to me.
love that.
Dad,
I don't. Who knows where she learned it?
That is hilarious.
All
I'm
right.
not finished. Oh, but that's what my daughter says.
Yeah.
But we are finished. This is it.
For now.
Will this be turned into a two-parter because it's so fucking
Probably.
long?
Maybe.
Oh
How
my
long is
God.
it?
What will you cut out? What portions will you cut out?
None. We never cut anything
pretty
out.
No,
long.
come on.
Yeah,
You'll
we
cut
know we
stuff
don't
out.
We do not cut out unless it is requested.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I can't-
I will tell you what I hate is that when I find that these podcasts, the host, the interviewer has more interesting views and it's like David Letterman. I didn't want to see a guest on David Letterman. I just want David Letterman
Right,
to talk.
right.
I go on with Norm Macdonald, Gilbert, you're all.
No, but I
This
find
isn't
people
that kind of
fascinating.
show.
I find people.
I know.
feel like everyone has a story, and I don't care what you're plugging or this or that. It's like, who are you?
I do agree with that, and I hate that talk
Right.
shows. Everybody is on there for a purpose.
Right.
I liked when Orson Bean just went on
Right.
and had nothing.
Right.
He just told the joke, and I want to tell jokes now.
Right.
On, Jimmy Fallon or
Right.
or Kimmel or Steve Colbert. I want to just
All
go
men.
tell jokes.
All men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
people tend to.
stop.
I just,
Oh my God.
And they ask me why I want to transition.
shut up.
Okay.
All right, I gotta go.
What are you doing?
I have a show at 54 Below coming up March 11th and 12th. This will probably air after, right? Or maybe not.
Okay.
And I'm rehearsing
For?
the show. I want to
for
do a
the
little music.
Is it a one-woman show?
It's my stand-up. It's me performing, but I figured I'm at a supper club.
oh yeah.
It's a cabaret, and I'd like to
You gotta
take
take out a
advantage of
mortgage
it.
to go
Yeah.
and see something there
Yeah.
at the Carlisle. But it's a great place to have,
Yeah.
and I hope they do well. I hope they continue to
It's
survive.
the food is good
They've
too.
been doing great.
Yeah.
The last show you did there was so fun.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about you. I hope that club
54
Right.
below. Yeah, it's
a
doing
lovely-
pretty well.
Have you
Lovely
been
place.
there
Of course, I've been
to
there.
do?
Oh,
have you done your own show?
No, I want to do my own show. No, I got up. I sang. I was asked to do at the very beginning when early in the year, Sinatra's 100th anniversary, a tribute to Sinatra, and I sang, and I went up on the
What?
lyrics. And the audience, they're the ones who fed me the laughs.
That's
But
great.
I rehearsed. I
What
knew it.
song?
Fairy tales can come true. They can happen to you
And then he went up.
if your
What?
line.
Ah!
You've got a great voice, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
beautiful
very.
singer.
You are. You are so talented.
If
You're
you-
a quadruple threat. Get it? Instead of triple, quadruple.
Quadruple. If you ever have the chance to see Richard on stage, I've seen him like 5 times, and
Or if you're in
he's
London.
incredible.
On stage. I
That's what I say about myself.
It's
Great.
I
on
love it. I feed
television,
off
but-
the audience. I love live. It pays nothing. Do
Pays
you
your spirit.
do you do any social media crap?
No.
No Twitter?
No Twitter. I think I have Twitter, but I've never Twittered.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can't. That's what
I got plenty. You know, they say friends.
You got an email
I got
list?
so many email lists.
Yeah, you're gonna send
No,
this out to
do
your
you
best
email
friends.
a lot to people?
Oh, sure, but
Yeah.
but in response,
Right,
to,
right.
Yeah, no, never. I never hawk what I'm doing. Although nobody knows Red Oaks is on, and I wish people would watch it, but nobody knows it's on.
Red Oaks.
Watch Red Oaks.
Have you seen Red Oaks?
Hawk what you're doing.
Have you seen Red Oaks?
One up. I've got it on my watch list.
So you've seen one episode?
No, I have it on my watch list.
Oh, it's you.
I heard it's amazing.
I can't commit.
pretty-
And I
great.
can't, I was like, I can't believe that I didn't audition for any part in Red Oaks.
Well, there's parts in the second season, so
It's on the
I
second
mean,
season
I
now,
would be
right?
perfect.
I thought.
yes.
I would,
yeah.
but the height often is a problem.
Well, check out Red Oaks. It takes place in the 80s, right?
It's really, really good.
It takes place in the 80s about a college student who's like a senior, I believe.
He's an assistant tennis pro at a country club.
It looks really funny.
If you
it
like
looks really
Flamingo
awesome.
Kid and Caddyshack, you like it.
Oh, love
who wrote
Caddyshack.
Oh God, a lot of people wrote me. All right,
Great, Red Oaks.
Get off the phone.
I'm off.
This was such a
I'm
pleasure.
glad we did this live.
I enjoyed.
Do you ever do it over the phone?
Never. I won't. And people have said, and big stars, and I'm like, no, it's not the same. Listen, everyone, thank you for listening to Kill Me Now. Richard Kind, thank you so much.
You can't wait to look at who called or who emailed him because I turned it off the entire time.
God
Good
damn
for
it, I
you.
love you.
For you.
Yeah.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a single parent, so.
Been looking shit up.
Thank you so much.
What would you have done if an emergency happened? What's other than the obvious? What is something that you needed to look at because you're a single parent?
Well, I just want to make sure that he got home from school and
What?
everything. I don't know.
Okay,
I get
what if he
paranoid.
didn't? What if he didn't?
She would have
What-
left,
If
and we
something
would have
happens
continued
to
the
him
show.
and they can't get a hold of the other mother, I don't know. All right.
It could happen to you.
It could happen. Nothing. It wouldn't. It could wait. It could wait.
It all can wait. What happened? What happened 30 years ago? If you didn't,
It could wait.
it could.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
And thank you all for
Thank you,
listening.
Judith.
Thank you for being on Kill Me Now. So long!
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states or situations.